Welcome to BSc Statistics students. So in this lesson I explain t-test for equality of population means. This is what the test. This is a small sample test. So t-test for equality of population means, which means we consider two populations. From one population we consider one sample, and another population we consider the second sample, and so that the test procedure is going to be conducted based on means, that is sample means and population means. The population and population means, the population statements which are going to be tested with the help of the sample data and the sample means, right? So now you consider, first of all, consider the theoretical part. For example, consider first population and draw the sample observations x1, x2, and so on, xn1, which is of size n1, which follows a normal distribution with, which means x follows a normal distribution with mean mu1 and variance sigma 1 square. Similarly, you consider from the first population. Similarly, you consider another sample, y1, y2, and so on. Let it be yn2 of size n2, which is drawn from another normal population. For example, you consider y follows a normal distribution with mean mu2 and variance sigma 2 square. This is what the two particular samples which are drawn from two different two distinct populations, right? So this is what primary consideration of the samples from the populations, from two different populations, right? Here in the t-test for equality of means, one another assumption is required, that is sigma 1 square it is equal to sigma 2 square, it is equal to, let it be some sigma square, say it is one assumption that is, if population variance are equal and not known, it's not a specified value. If it is known, we have to use the normal distribution case. That is, we have to apply the normal distribution and we have to follow the test procedure of with the help of the normal distribution, that is based on some kind of large samples, right? Because here, if not known case only, we have to consider this, and this is what the procedure is going to be considered usually. But actually, test for equality of variances is to be conducted first, and then this is going to be considered. We have another particular test called test for equality of variances, because these are the variances, population variances. Okay, leave the matter. And so, now you consider this assumption, it is not known, then they are equal and not known. Population variance are equal and not known, and such a case you consider, please consider. The first point, null hypothesis H0, I am considering to test the population means. I am considering mu1 is equal to mu2, that is two population means are equal. That is the first statement. And another statement, another hypothesis, that is the hypothesis with another statement is there is no significance difference between the sample means. That is the second statement is considered for null hypothesis. The second one, the alternative hypothesis H1, it is going to be considered, for example, mu1 not equal to mu2, or mu1 it is greater than mu2, we can consider, or mu1 is less than mu2. So these are the three kinds of statements we can consider, in which I specify two statements. One, the population means are not equal, mu1, mu2. Population variance means are not equal. And there is a significant difference between the sample means. That is another kind of hypothesis, that is alternative hypothesis statement is going to be considered. That is, there is a significance difference. There is a clear significance difference between the sample means, or two population means are equal. Here, two null hypothesis, two population means are equal, and alternative hypothesis, two population means are not equal. And in the null hypothesis, we consider there is no significance difference between the sample means, and in the alternative hypothesis, there is a significance difference between the sample means. right? These are the two particular statements you have to consider: null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis, right? Hope it is clear. I repeat again, here the population means are equal, null hypothesis, population means are not equal, that is an alternative hypothesis, like that. Okay, and the third point is test statistic. Test statistic, it is going to be considered. Obviously, we have considered in the similar fashion in the large sample test. We have conducted this particular test procedure, test for means in the large sample test as well, based on the normal distribution. Now, so some similarities are there that I consider. X follows a normal distribution, Y is also following a normal distribution. Therefore, the distribution of X bar, it is again following normal distribution with mean mu1 and variance sigma 1 square by n1. Hope you understand. This is very simple to consider. And Y bar also follows a normal distribution with mean mu2 and variance sigma 2 square by n2. So like that, we can easily specify from the distribution of normal, the distributions of X bar and Y bar. The mean is mu1, where mean is here mu2, and variance sigma 1 square by n1, variance sigma 2 square by n2. And then that if you consider the distribution of X bar minus Y bar, because to consider the test statistic, we have to consider two particular things. One, Xi, that is standard normal variate for difference of means, and second one, you have to consider chi-square variate, because t statistic, it is going to be defined with the help of the two particular values, so standard normal variate and chi-square variate divides its degrees of freedom. It's a ratio of standard normal variate and square root of chi-square variate divides its degrees of freedom. That is t statistic, Fisher t statistic, right? So if you consider X bar minus Y bar, for X bar minus Y bar, if you consider the standard normal variate, first of all, the standard normal variate is going to be defined as X bar minus Y bar minus of expectation of X bar minus Y bar divided by standard error of X bar minus Y bar. Generally, you consider Z. Here we consider in the t statistic, we consider Xi. Okay, so therefore Xi, which follows n01, Xi is a standard normal variate in the t statistic, if you consider. And from the X bar and Y bar, we know the distribution of X bar minus Y bar. What is the distribution of X bar minus Y bar? By simple linear combination of normal variates or additive property of normal distribution, we can easily calculate X bar minus Y bar, which follows a normal distribution with mean mu1 minus mu2 and variance sigma 1 square by n1 plus sigma 2 square by n2. This is variance, right? So these are the mean, this is variance. That is expectation of X bar minus Y bar is equal to mu1 minus mu2. This was already we have calculated in the large sample theory, so you can please go and follow. And variance of X bar minus Y bar is equal to sigma 1 square by n1 plus sigma 2 square by n2. If you take square root, then you will get standard error, right? So therefore, the standard error, I write here, the standard error of X bar minus Y bar is equal to, it is square root of sigma 1 square by n1 plus sigma 2 square by n2. So this is what standard error. Now therefore Xi is equal to, now I write Xi. Therefore Xi, what is Xi? Standard normal variate. This is called Xi. It is standard normal variate X bar minus Y bar minus, expectation of X bar minus Y bar is mu1 minus mu2. That I put a brackets. I put bracket, right? And then divided by standard error of X bar minus Y bar is square root of sigma 1 square divided by n1 plus sigma 2 square divided by n2, which follows n01, standard normal variate. Okay, fine, it was finished. Now you have to calculate, you have to consider chi1 square and chi2 square. And if you consider two particular independent chi-square variates, first of all, I consider from the sample 1, I consider one chi-square variate, that is let it be n1 s1 square divided by sigma 1 square, which follows chi-square with n1 minus 1 degrees of freedom. That is one chi-square, the chi-square 1, let it be chi-square 1. Similarly, I am considering for second sample, that is second from the second population. n2 s2 square divided by sigma 2 square, which follows a chi-square distribution with n2 minus 1 degrees of freedom. Let you consider this is second chi-square, chi2 square. So now from the additive property of chi-square, if you add these two, that is since chi-square distribution satisfies additive property, it follows additive property. So therefore, if you consider, if you add these two, n1 s1 square divided by sigma 1 square plus n2 s2 square divided by sigma 2 square, which follows again chi-square distribution with respective degrees of freedom, addition of for example, this is m, this is m plus n, like so. Therefore, this is n1 minus 1, this is n2 minus 1. Therefore, degrees of freedom will be n1 minus 1 plus n2 minus 1. That is which follows a chi-square distribution with n1 plus n2 minus 2 degrees of freedom. So this is what degrees of freedom. So what is this? n1 s1 square by sigma 1 square plus n2 s2 square by sigma 2 square follows a chi-square distribution with n1 plus n2 minus 2 degrees of freedom. So therefore, let you consider under the assumption that we have to consider these two, chi and chi-square variate. Let it be, this is chi-square. This is one particular chi-square. Chi-square is equal to this value. Chi1 square plus chi2 square is equal to chi-square. So chi-square is equal to n1 s1 square by sigma 1 square plus n2 s2 square by sigma 2 square, which follows chi-square n1 plus n2 minus 2. And chi is equal to x bar minus y bar minus of mu1 minus mu2 by square root of sigma 1 square by n1 plus sigma 2 square by n2, which follows n01. These are the two particular values we have to consider under the assumption that what is the assumption? The population variance are equal. Under assumption that sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square is equal to, let it be, sigma square. That is what I have specified at first. At very first the theory I have specified that you have to consider it is not known. It is not known. It is not a known value, but they are equal. Under the assumption that population variance are equal, that we have to consider this. So therefore, if I consider, then chi becomes x bar minus y bar minus of mu1 minus mu2 divided by square root of sigma 1 square by n1 plus sigma 2 square by n2. Then which means sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square is equal to sigma square. That is sigma square. If you take a common, then it will be sigma into, you can take it outside, sigma into 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. This is chi. And what is chi-square? Chi-square is equal to n1 s1 square divided by sigma square plus n2 s2 square divided by sigma square. So it is equivalent to be n1 s1 square plus n2 s2 square divided by sigma square, because sigma square is nothing but you can take an LCM, so that divided by sigma square. So now what is the t statistic? Hope you understand. Now chi becomes this and chi-square is this. Based on chi and chi-square, now you have to calculate, we have to consider, and we have to calculate test statistic, right? So I am preparing test statistic now. So again I write the values of standard normal variate and chi-square variate. Standard normal variate chi is equal to x bar minus y bar minus of mu1 minus mu2 divided by sigma into square root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2, which follows n01. That is the first one. And chi-square, if you consider the chi-square is equal to n1 s1 square plus n2 s2 square divided by sigma square, which follows a chi-square with n1 plus n2 minus 2 degrees of freedom. This is what the final conclusion under the assumption that sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square. Sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square. Population variance are equal. Then if you consider t statistic is chi by square root of chi-square by its degrees of freedom. Whether it is, if it is n, degrees of freedom is n. Now the degrees of freedom is n1 plus n2 minus 2. So therefore we consider that. So which follows t n degrees of freedom. That is what the assumption is going to be considered. So from this, the t is going to be considered t statistic or test statistic here to consider the difference between the means, the sample means. So here we have to consider xi. Xi is x bar minus y bar minus of mu1 minus mu2 divided by sigma into square root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. Is it clear? Whole divided by, that is, if I write t here, it is appropriate, is equal to, divided by square root of chi square. Chi square is this. This is chi square. n1 s1 square plus n2 s2 square divided by sigma square whole divided by n1 degrees, its degrees of freedom, chi square by n. If chi square follows chi square n, the degrees of freedom is n. If here it is degrees of freedom n1 plus n2 minus 2. So n1 plus n2 minus 2. Which follows a t distribution with n1 plus n2 minus 2 degrees of freedom. Remember, the degrees of freedom of chi square is nothing but the degrees of freedom, it becomes degrees of freedom for the t distribution here. That is what very, very important. So sigma will get cancelled. Sigma square, root sigma square and sigma, right? It will cancel. And the remaining all the terms must be here. So therefore t is equivalent to be, finally what the value of t is nothing but x bar minus y bar minus of mu1 minus mu2 divided by, then I am writing all the remaining terms in the denominator, right? So therefore, if you consider, I am considering a particular pattern, so that square root of n1 s1 square plus n2 s2 square divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2, that's what I consider one factor. Another one is 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. Clear? So this is what follows t n1 plus n2 minus 2 degrees of freedom. You see here, you observe here, x bar minus y bar minus mu1 minus mu2. Square root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2 I have taken here. And sigma square cancel and sigma is cancelled. n1 square root of n1 s1 square by plus n1 n2 s2 square divided by n plus n2 minus 2. Remaining, that's all the terms. The first one this, second one this, and third one this. So that for all the terms if you consider. Now you consider this entire term as s square, that is, let capital S square I am considering. Capital S square is equal to n1 small s1 square plus n2 small s2 square divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2. At the same time, now if this is s square, then the square root becomes s. Therefore, s is equal to square root of n1 s1 square plus n2 s2 square divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2. This is small s1, small s2, this is capital S. So this is only a consideration. Remember, capital S square is only just a consideration of this particular pooled variance. The variance of two particular variants and some particular pooled variance of based on two particular sample variances, s1 square and s2 square. This is one such formula, n1 s1 square plus n2 s2 square divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2. Right. So it is going to be considered s square. It was considered as s square. That's all. That nothing else. It is the formula. It is only just a formula, but it is not a standard value of sample variance or sample mean or sample variance, etc. No, it is not a formula of like that. It is only capital S square. It is a formula only. Right. Therefore, t now becomes t is equal to x bar minus y bar minus of mu1 minus mu2 divided by, if you consider this is square root of this is nothing but s, capital S, okay, multiplied by square root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2, which follows t distribution with n1 plus n2 minus 2. Where is n1 plus n2 minus 2? It is there in the formula of a capital S. You don't confuse that. Where is capital S? Capital S is nothing but where is n1 plus n2 minus 2? This particular formula, this value. This is in this particular S. S is equal to square root of n1 s1 square plus n2 s2 square divided by n plus n2 minus 2. To make formula simple, that's all, is going to be considered. So if you take it outside s square, that square root, it is nothing but s. So therefore this is nothing but x bar minus y bar minus mu1 minus mu2 divided by s into square root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. Now test a statistic under h naught. Under h naught. What is h naught? Mu1 is equal to mu2. If mu1 is equal to mu2, this becomes 0. mu1 minus mu2 is 0. Therefore, test statistic becomes under h naught. Test statistic becomes x bar minus y bar divided by s into square root of capital S into square root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. This is what the required formula of test statistic under h naught. Is it clear? This is what the next point. The one more case, I specify one more case, or case 1 or 2 you consider. If it is case 1, if whatever we have I have explained now, we have discussed now, that is nothing but case 1. If you consider, if case 2 is nothing but if sigma square, sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square is equal to sigma square is known value. This entire derivation for not known. Now it is known. If it is known, then we have to apply the simply a normal distribution. The case of large sample test, the normal distribution z is equivalent to be x bar minus y bar divided by sigma into square root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. This is what the case when sigma is known. Sigma square, sigma 1 square is equal to sigma 2 square is equal to sigma square is known, then this is the formula, and it follows a normal distribution, standard normal distribution, and this test is actually going to be used. Okay, this is only the case where I'm explaining, right? So therefore, the final part, the fourth part, the comparison and conclusion. What is comparison? What is the part of comparison and conclusion? And so in this case, what we consider is we consider modulus of t, that is computed value. That is this I'm discussing about case 1, the major case. T is equal to x bar minus y bar by s into square root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2, which follows t n1 plus n2 minus 2 degrees of freedom. So in this case, we have to calculate this computed value t, that is calculated value or computed value. And we get t, the tabulated value of t or significant value of t at specified alpha level of significance, and degrees of freedom is n1 plus n2 minus 2, and n1 plus n2 minus 2 degrees of freedom, we get this particular tabulated value or significant value. If it is greater than, that is computed value is greater than the tabulated value, then it is h naught may be accepted. H naught may be rejected, I'm sorry, h naught may be rejected. And if modulus of t it is less than or equal to t alpha comma n1 plus n2 minus 2 degrees of freedom, then h naught is going to be accepted. H naught going to be accepted. So this is what the test procedure for difference of means or equality of population means of small sample test by using t-test is going to be conducted. Thank you so much.